So maybe an interesting topic for my first video blog, Boomer on Two Wheels. But I was diagnosed at age 40 with type 2 diabetes and have struggled with ups and downs as most type 2 diabetics do. And I knew diet played an important role in managing diabetes, controlling the highs and lows, if you will. And I even exercised like a madman, to be honest with you. I mean, I one time did 90 minutes straight on a stepper, and I quit because I got bored. I hit the stepper every single day. Maybe 1 or 2 days a week I would take off. And exercise certainly helps. And if that's the route that you're going to take, it's recommended that you utilize the larger muscle groups because, as I've found out, the larger muscle groups can continue to pull glucose out of the system for 48 hours after a vigorous workout. Now, check that out on your own. I'm not a doctor. I don't have any medical education, just my own research and personal experience. But even with that, I was put on a second blood pressure medication, metformin and then glipizide, and really never achieved good control. And then I stumbled across something which is what I wanted to share. And if you're a diabetic, type 2, or even type 1 diabetic, this is worth its weight in gold. And I'll tell you why. 6 months ago, my A1Cs were 8.8. And that's almost as high as they've ever been. Not the highest, but close. And the doctor told me we may have to consider injectables. Now, whether that was insulin or not, I don't know. And I decided after doing some research to try something. So 5 weeks before my next doctor visit, and I went every 3 months, 5 minutes before or 5 weeks before my next doctor visit, I tried this thing that I'll tell you about in a second. And I went from 240 pounds, which to me did not feel heavy. I used to do athletics. I competed at 265 pounds. So 240 did not seem that heavy, but at my next 3 month visit, I was down to 225 pounds. But more importantly, my A1Cs went from 8.8 to 7.0. Man, this thing works. So I kept at it. And mind you, no exercise. I didn't have time to hit the stepper like I would like to and like I used to. And still, the pounds just came off and the A1Cs dropped. So at my next visit, which was earlier this week, my weight 207. From 240 to 207 in what, 5 months? No, not 5 months. 3 months, like 4 months, a little over 4 months. But again, more importantly, my A1Cs are now in the non diabetic range 5.8. How did I do this? And anybody can do this. And the idea, hopefully, is to keep you on two wheels a lot longer. Diet. Now, I heard Dr. Jason Fung, look him up. He's incredible. And what he said was that diabetes will never be cured because diabetes is not a disease. Diabetes, and this is type 2 diabetes now. Type 1 is when your pancreas just doesn't work, doesn't produce any insulin. But type 2 diabetes is not a disease. It is a symptom of carbohydrate overloading. And you have to research what it is that you're eating because you might think that a breakfast like oatmeal and a banana is a great breakfast, and for some maybe, but not for a type 2 diabetic. As a type 2 diabetic, what I was trying to do was stay at 20 to 25 carbohydrates or less every day. And you see the results from 8.8 to 5.8, from 240 to 207. So it works. And not just me, lots of people. But did you know your average banana has 17 grams of carbohydrates? Yeah, that's out. Oatmeal, 27 grams of carbohydrates in the oatmeal. Now it does have 4 grams of fiber, so that brings it down to 23 carbs, because you subtract the fiber from the total carbs to get a net carbs, but still 23. And if you have both of these for breakfast, you're at 40 grams of carbohydrates. And if you don't think that's going to spike your blood sugar, you're kidding yourself. Can't do it. Not as a diabetic. So that's what I wanted to share, was the low carb or ketogenic way of eating. And you will bring your blood glucose down. So many people, and again, let me remind you, research this, check it out. This is just what I've researched and my experience. I have no medical training at all. I'm not trying to pass myself off as a doctor. Okay, now if you want to know something about the Bible, that's what that stuff on the walls is for. Bible college, seminary. But medical school, no. But I will tell you what works and what worked for me and what has worked for countless other people. And you can research it and find out for yourself. Cut the carbohydrates. You increase the proteins and the fats. But look into it. Because I'm telling you, it works. And it's worked for so many people. And so many people have been able to get off of their medication by cutting the carbs, carbohydrates. One doctor, I believe it was Ken Berry, you can also watch on YouTube, he said there are essential fatty acids that you must have. And if you don't have them, you will die. Essential amino acids that you must have. And if you don't have them, you will die. But there is no such thing as an essential carbohydrate. You don't need them. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you in this first Boomer on Two Wheels. And I would like to share more about lifestyle and motorcycling from a boomer's perspective. I'm a boomer. All right. Take care and God bless.